Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the difference in working in a hospital versus an outpatient clinic or a actual clinic, a standalone clinic, and I'll also talk about a little bit about pay. So let's get on with it. Okay, so as I've mentioned in previous videos, I would highly suggest your first job straight out of school being at a hospital. When you work in a hospital, you are going to learn so much more than you would working in a clinic. Typically when you work in a clinic, it's usually a specialty like OBGYN or a vascular clinic. So you're not gonna learn a whole bunch of different or a variety of exams. So I personally, like I've mentioned many times before, get yourself in a hospital if you can. Even if it's PRN, hospitals with a lot of volume, you will have plenty of hours and you'll learn so much. Okay, now some hospitals have outpatient clinics. Those are awesome in the sense that you're in the hospital, so you still have other sonographers who are very knowledgeable and have the experience to be there to help you. But if you're in an outpatient clinic, whether it be a standalone outpatient clinic or the hospital outpatient clinic, you are on a schedule. And what I mean by that is they schedule exams. So different exams, they will allow different amounts of times for those exams. For instance, an abdomen limited, which is where you're gonna scan midline, which is your pancreas, your IVC, your aorta, proximal, mid, and distal. And then you'll also scan your liver in 2 different scan planes. You'll scan your gallbladder, your CVD, your main portal vein, then you'll scan your right kidney. That's a limited exam. It's a lot of pictures, but you only get allotted like 30 minutes to do that exam. Some exams get 45 minutes, some exams get an hour. With that being said, they're gonna fill your day. Your day's gonna be full. So like if every patient shows up to their appointment, you're gonna be go, 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 go. So working in an outpatient clinic, you're definitely gonna get faster at your scanning. A lot of the times you have your protocols that you'll learn during school, and most of the time they're the same as what you'll do in the hospital or outpatient setting. But you'll get faster, and the more you scan, the more tricks and techniques that you'll have that will also help you improve in your scanning ability. But being in an outpatient clinic, you are scheduled and you will have to move quick or you're gonna be behind on your next patient, and it will make your whole day go behind. Outpatient clinics, when they're inside of a hospital, your hours are still Monday through Friday, and your hours for the most part are gonna be normal business hours. Now a hospital, it's obviously 24 hours a day. You're gonna be scheduled, whether it be morning shift, afternoon shift, your swing shift, your night shift. There's so many shifts to be scheduled for. So they do have to have different sonographers to do that. I work at 2 hospitals. One hospital does it a little bit different. They will schedule all their procedures and everything in the beginning of the day, and most hospitals do, but they only have 3 to 4 sonographers that work the morning, and then they have one that works the night, and then after the night, nobody works. They have somebody on call. So whoever's on call will get called in throughout the night. Whereas the other hospital that I work at, they have multiple sonographers on the shift all day long. So even throughout the night. So if you're on call at this hospital, unless like the night shift gets super busy, you're more than likely not gonna get called in. And with outpatient clinics, you don't typically work weekends. You just work during the week from, like, let's say 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then if you work in a standalone clinic, like a private practice, most of the time those are vascular clinics or OBGYN clinics. In my area, a lot of the OBGYN clinics are those positions are filled by recruiting agencies, basically. So like we have one company that's like traveling company within our area that hire a lot of the OBGYN sonographers, and then they'll outsource them to different clinics who are looking for a sonographer. That's not every clinic, but it's a lot of clinics here in my area. When you work in a clinic, your hours are typically normal doctor office hours, so Monday through Friday, and no weekends and no call. So, I mean, I would highly suggest getting I guess it kind of depends on your ability, what you can and can't do as far as family life goes. But if you have the time and you have a good support system, I would highly recommend getting into a hospital so you can learn as much as you can. And then later on, once you're skilled enough and you know exactly what you want to do, then look for a clinic job. If you get hired on straight out of school for a PRN position, take it. I highly recommend taking it because most hospitals will hire from within, meaning you could be one within your hospital applying for a full-time position, but 10 people that aren't already affiliated with that hospital are applying for the same position, but they'll look at you first because they've already trained you. They already know your work ethic. They already know what you're about. And if you meet their expectations, they're more than likely going to choose you before they hire anybody else, because then now they have to train somebody new and it's more time and more money. As far as pay goes, I personally don't know if I can answer this question for you. I will try my best to do what I can, but if you are a sonographer and you've been practicing for a while and you might know this answer, leave us a comment down below so you can help us out here. I would greatly appreciate that. In my experience, I worked, like I said, in a specialized clinic, meaning my company was technically a traveling company as well. They were based out of the East Coast, and they hired me on at a pretty good rate right away. So I don't think every clinic will be like that. So in my opinion, I got lucky, and I'm very grateful for that company, even though I'm no longer with them. I work for the hospitals now. I love working for the hospitals. I've learned so much. And yeah, the money I make in the hospital, one of the hospitals that I work in makes more money than my full-time position when I was working for the traveling ultrasound, the transcranial Doppler. So I really don't know what to speak on that. Another question that I get quite frequently is, am I too old to go back to school? Now, a short story on myself is at 21 years old, or 20 years old, I was working in a restaurant, bartending, serving, waiting tables. I really had no direction in life. I decided to join the Marine Corps. I went to the Marine Corps. Later on, I met my husband. We decided to move back to Austin, Texas. It was probably about 2008, 2009. I went to school to be a LMRT, which is a limited medical radiologic technologist. I think I'm saying that correctly. I worked in a chiropractic office doing x-rays. I mean, I learned how to develop my film, take my pictures, everything. I learned about your settings, your technique that you will use, the radiation, everything about that. I learned it all. But I only worked in a chiropractic office. I loved working in the chiropractor office, but I did not make enough money to make a living. So I went into the dental field, and I made enough money at that point to survive. And I loved working in the dental field, but it was administration, and I'd already been doing administration for many, many years. I was just kind of over it. So once my husband graduated with his bachelor's degree, I was ready to go back to school. So I was probably, at the time, I just had my son, and I want to say I was 29 when I had my son. The math really doesn't add up. Maybe I was 28. So I was 28 when I had my son, and I decided to go back to school. I want to say I think I started school when I was 29 years old. In my class, there were quite a few women, and there was a couple men in our classes too that were older than me. There was also some right out of high school that were going to school, but there was a variety. And I personally never thought that I was too old to go back to school. Maybe it's because I don't feel old, I don't know. But since being a sonographer, I have not seen there being any discrimination as far as not hiring somebody because of their age. I see all ages and male, female get hired on, and they're some of the best sonographers. So I do not think age is a factor there. I could be wrong, but I personally don't see it. So if you've personally been discriminated on due to your age, please let us know in the comments, because like I said, I have quite a few people asking, is it too late for me to go back to school? Can ultrasound be a good fit for me if I'm older? I will say this though, which could be a downfall. If you're not physically fit, not saying you have to be in great shape, not saying you have to work out every day, just enough to be able to position patients, because there will be some heavy patients and just even small patients who cannot move themselves. You will be positioning these patients. You'll also be on your feet all day long for the most part. I will say that I stand on my feet all the time. And so I would say it would be a very good thing even if you're older, if you are physically capable of doing these, then I don't see there being an issue at all. I think that any and everyone who has the drive or the passion to be a sonographer, I think you'd be great at it. Okay, so I hope this helped you decide whether or not you want to work in a hospital, a clinic, an outpatient clinic, and also if you think that you can go back to school to do this profession. I highly think that this is a great profession to be in. Like I said, I love helping people. So if you love helping people and you want to be in the medical field, I think this is a great profession for you to look into. Nobody can answer the question for you. You have to know what you want to do. So I like to make these videos to let y'all know what to expect and give you an insight. Maybe this will help you decide whether or not you do want to be a sonographer. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment down below if you have any suggestions for video content, if you want me to speak on something for you. And I do apologize that my videos are a little delayed. I've just had a lot going on here recently, but I'm still trying to make that weekly video. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Love you guys.